Well, Julian, I want to say that I'm absolutely delighted with this evangelism course. I'm the pastor of Bethlehem Community Church, and this has been a new church plant in the Presbyterian Church. One of the things that's really concerned me is that we've had a lot of people join us who've come and moved into Tauranga, and they've reconnected with their faith. But what we haven't seen is a whole lot of new conversions, and it's been a real concern, and it's been great to be able to take a number from the church. I think there's been 13 of us go through it. This evangelism course has fired people up again for real confidence. They've gained a real confidence in the gospel. Some of them had evangelistic gifts that they used when they first became Christians, and of course by being in the church for many years they sort of lost that zeal for the Lord and that confidence in the gospel. And Julian, it's been great to see them regain their confidence in the gospel and actually start to share their faith. We've had 3 people lead others to the Lord. We've had one guy lead his insurance agent to the Lord, and Ted, one of our elderly guys, they led some neighbours to the Lord, an elderly couple. And that's been just wonderful to see the way in which the gospel has power, and the way in which God backs up the gospel by bringing people to know Him. So absolutely, I'd want to encourage every church to actually use an evangelism program like this, just to raise the confidence level in the gospel and the power of the gospel, and the way in which God uses the message of the gospel, and also the way in which it encourages people to activate their faith again. So it's been great. Thanks, Julian.
Julian's book on evangelism I can highly recommend. Having read it, it made me realise the strategies that Satan has to thwart the whole idea of proclaiming the gospel message. Made me realise, of course, that the Great Commission, as it's called in the Bible, these were the Lord's last words. It has to be the number one priority above everything else, above all the good works, as good as they might be. What He said to do was go into all the world and proclaim the gospel. So I'd highly recommend this, not only this book, but Julian's course. It's imperative that we learn and understand Satan's devices to stop us preaching the gospel. It's imperative that we understand those things that are not truly the proclamation of the gospel. And this is one thing the course will do. It makes us abundantly clear what Satan's devices are and his plans, so we can stand against those and know that we are to proclaim, as Paul said, the clear gospel message, which is the power of God unto salvation.
Hi, I'm Al Gawley from Bethlehem Community Church in Tauranga, and I'd like to say that I've just been through Julian's course, and it was a really time for a wake-up call for me, because I've been a Christian for some years, been very involved in church life, very weighed down with the day-to-day things and running of church and being involved, and realised actually that I'd lost my first love very much, that I was so busy doing stuff actually that I didn't have time to even talk to people, and my heart wasn't there, and there was a lot of things happening in my life. So one of the things that's happened was, when I first thought about this, I thought, oh, maybe it's just going to be another course, maybe it's just going to be another thing. But actually I've really enjoyed it, and it's been, as others have said, it's been really good for me to remember again what my first love was. I know when you're sharing and you're talking about someone with the gospel, what a buzz that is, when you just feel like $1 million. You feel like you're right place, right time, and God is really there, and I saw the fruit and have seen the fruit of that, and it reminded me again, as it had been in earlier days, just actually what the first call is, what it's actually all about. It's actually not all about maybe so much programs and church life, but it's actually reaching out for the lost. We can get so busy doing the stuff that we actually miss the main event. So proclaiming the gospel is a high priority. It is the priority, and how easy we can get robbed or sidetracked. And so I totally recommend Julian's course. It was a lot of fun too, actually. we enjoyed a lot of laughs, and we had a lot of fellowship, and we learned a lot about each other, and we realised that we're all in the same boat. That actually we all need encouragement. We can share from each other's testimonies, failures sometimes, and successes, and we really enjoyed it as a group of people who got together, and I feel that it made a real good bond between us. And the challenge is, like all things, is to carry on and actually do that. But hey, big ups, it was fantastic, and I really thank you for spending the time and the effort putting it together, because it is so worthwhile, and it is the truth, and ultimately it's only the truth that will set you free. So sweet, thanks man. The thing that I got from the course primarily is that actually I felt to start with that I was really condemned for not doing it, but now I feel really free and released. There is no condemnation, and actually when you get up and going, it feels it's the biggest buzz there is, actually sharing the gospel. So.
Hi, I'm Anne from Tauranga also, and I want to really endorse what we've just been doing. We've spent some weeks now doing Julian's course. I wish I could start it again actually from the start, because I think there was a heap of stuff in there that I need to digest again. This has been pretty revolutionary for me. I am now sharing the gospel and my heart a lot more freely, a lot more happily, and a lot more often than I ever did before. And yeah, having a lot more fun with it. This has been fantastically freeing actually for me, realising that it's actually God's power, it's not my technique or anything like that. It's not around my cleverness or the way that I describe the gospel or anything. It's around God's power and just being a willing mouthpiece.
I've been a Christian for 31 years, and it wasn't until I did this evangelism course that's really fired me up, because we heard about how we're to go into the world and preach the gospel, which is the good news, but it's actually the power behind the gospel that is really sort of motivating us to, especially myself, to get out there and share with people. And I just look forward to that I can actually bring people to Christ through that.
My name is Ginny, and I belong to Bethlehem Community Church, and I've really enjoyed the evangelism course that we've been doing. It's been great for me. I've learnt so much from it, and it's just been such a blessing to my life. It's changed my life, I feel, and I do look forward now to sharing the gospel, the good news, with other people. So thank you for this opportunity. It's just been fantastic.
Yeah, hi there, my name is John, and I go to the Bethlehem Community Church. This course has been really good. At the start I was very sceptical. I've been to courses in the past and things like that, and to be honest, at the start I was just wasn't too sure about it. So for people that are listening to this, I urge you to follow it through and study the course, and just really check it out, and you will be really blessed.
Julian, this has been an exciting course for me. When I first started, I wasn't quite sure what you were about, because you said evangelism is not this, not that, several other things, and it was all about ploughing and bringing people together, doing good things. I thought that was all a form of evangelism. And then finally you separated, saying proclamation of the gospel is the most important thing. All the other things are equally important, but without the word, the proclamation of the gospel, the evangelism is not really evangelism. That's what I got out of all this. And I've been studying it very carefully now, and I'm dying to get a few converts from this, starting with my family, because my children, of course, they know about God. They haven't gone to church on a regular way, and so that they will be the first that I want to bring them home.